We try to we try to seek our own kind of truth because we don't inherit freedom. We try to grab a little speck amount of freedom in our whole lifetime. So, dear audience, the Swaraj I'm talking about, the Swaraj my friends are talking about, it's not packed in plastic pouches or plastic wrappers. But we get that Swaraj only we deserve and fight for. The very first instance of this I found and I knew through Giordano Bruno.
I was making the same mistake so many people before me had made. Was the idea of discovery really that new to me? Was I not aware of its consequences? Well, dear audience, history proves that we never truly learn from the past. History proves that we never truly learn from the past. When will bloodshed begin to tire us? When will we see the light? When will we not face inquisition for our new ideas? Yesterday there was suffering, today there is suffering, and tomorrow there will be suffering. While human memory transcends time and age, it is conveniently fickle. My name, dear audience, is Galileo Galilei. You know my story, but today we shall discuss Giordano Bruno. Giordano Bruno was a Calvinist Renaissance philosopher whose theories about the space and infinity led the Roman Inquisition to burn in that state. Giordano Bruno lived for 52 years, from 1548 to 1600, and in that short time span, he helped the world fraternity to discover multiple meanings of the word earth and multiverse. Earth and multiverse.
From his childhood, Bruno was a master student and brilliant in using artificial memory technique, which was first discovered in Greece and ancient Rome. Ladies and gentlemen, Bruno had developed the reputation of a man possessing an unimaginable and a marvelous memory. Alongside, he was also developing his own ideas about the nature of Earth, vis-a-vis physics and divinity.
So his ideas were at cross purposes with the church, and that led the Inquisition to be planned against him. Please understand that in the Ptolemaic model, the celestial bodies, the planets revolve around the stationary Earth, and that too at the center of the universe. But is that true? So, ladies and gentlemen, an inquisition was planned against Bruno, but he managed to escape. Fleeing Naples, he escaped to Savona, Venice, Frankfurt, Chambéry, Wittenberg, and many more before he made the fatal mistake of returning back to Venice, where he had to face an inquisition. So let us begin a reconstruction of some fragments of that trial. Giovanni Mocenigo, sons of the late excellent Marcantonio Mocenigo, addressed to the father and inquisitor of Venice the letter containing charges against heresy. Against you, Giordano Bruno. It alleged that it is a great blasphemy to say, as the Catholics do, that bread has changed to flesh. That you, Bruno, are hostile to demand that no religion ever satisfies you, and that you are a follower of the subordinated model. So just tell me, Bruno, tell me that what is this? What is the theory that you propose? In this, are we supposed to change or will you change? Let me first categorically reject every single allegation in that letter because all of them are just imaginary confused. Let me explain my stance regarding the scientific aspect to your question. In contrast
conceptualized the universe as heliocentric, which means that the sun was at the center and the planets orbited around it. But I am no mere follower of Copernicus. I have my own opinions and thoughts on theology, and I find the individual soul as unable to survive the dissolution of the body. Both of them returning on death and in the infinite ocean of universal being, and that the universe had no center, and that the stars were in fact suns. My methods, the ethics, the aesthetics, and the politics are no different than the church, except that I believe that the soul is not timeless and that the universe is limitless. As per Copernicus, the earth rotates on its axis and the sun orbits, the planets orbit around the sun. I believe that this is the right paradigm. I genuinely believe that this is the right paradigm, but I also propose that there is a much, much larger universe out there. In my published dialogue, the Ash Wednesday Supper, I even suggested that there is a much larger universe than Copernicus ever imagined. In my subsequent dialogues, which are about 30 odd in total, I also argued that the awareness of a vast and infinitely old universe will and should transform human lives.
Okay. So basically, you're trying to say that universe is infinite.
Of course it is.
Just explain me, is that even possible? Is that even possible?
Possibilities. Not just the infinite universe. I also have a proposal concerning atoms. That everything you see is made up of identical particles, which I call seeds, in which God, with his informing love, resides.
And you think God is formless, right? How can you even say this? How can you?
Let me broaden our definition of God. If we move forward from the scope of previous Western thought, then we will realize that the seeds, the unimaginably large and the unimaginably small, are all unified with a belief in an omnipresence, which is loving God. I believe that God is omnipresent and that the infinite worlds are all and each and every created by Him.
I guess it. Theologian Robert Bellarmine, in my capacity as a consultant to the Inquisition since 1592, and a cardinal ordained by Pope Clement VIII, have reduced your heresies to 8 propositions. Each of these, you would have to adjourn if you were to save your life, especially your beliefs about 1. The Trinity, divinity, and incarnation. Do you get it? 2. The existence of multiple worlds. 3. The souls of humans and animals. And 4. The art of divination. Well, I suppose you're not that dumb to not understand. So let me read out the complete charges. Holding opinions contrary to the Catholic faith and speaking against it and its ministers. Holding opinions about the Trinity, divinity of Christ, and incarnation. Holding opinions pertaining to Jesus, holding opinions regarding the Mother Mary, and also holding opinions about both transubstantiation and the Mass. Believing in plurality of the world, claiming the existence of metempsychosis and in transmigration of human souls into brutes. And lastly, dealing with magics and divination. Your opinions on all these matters, as well as your contention that the sin of flesh was not a mortal sin, will only cause widespread confusion and anarchy. We, the church, adopted canonized models, and for the course of time, it is a part of an ecclesiastical legacy in our doctrines. The author Nicholas Copernicus' book on the revolutions of the heavenly spheres in 1543 makes no sense
sigh. When in my vagrant thoughts I flash and flare for my soul's delight, I build a fiery castle up the air. I declare that I have nothing to retract, and I do not even know what I am expected to retract at the first place. Perhaps you and you who declare my sentence are in greater fear than I who received enough. By the order of Pope Clement VIII, Giordano Bruno has been sentenced as an impenitent and pertinacious heretic. On this day, 8 February 1600, please note that you shall be taken to Campus Ethiopia with your tongue in a can and will eventually be burnt alive.
On February 17, 1600, Bruno was burned alive by the Roman Inquisition following his trial for heresy, which lasted the best part of a decade. The authorities opted that the sentence would be happening at dawn, at Square, which is now a marketplace in Rome. Just few blocks, not very far from the same place where Julius Caesar was brutally murdered. But it was not teeming with its great hustle and bustle.
Bruno was led to his fate on the back of a mule, a tradition believed to have been born out of the fact that those who are on their way to their death have been tortured so brutally that they cannot walk any further. After being stripped naked publicly, Bruno was hung up upside down at the center of Cobblestone Plaza. He did not utter any final word, for his tongue was tied by a metal clamp, his censoring gruesomely brought to life, and moments before, the fire was set ablaze. A cross was thrust right in front of Bruno's face, to which he turned his head away in defiance. But then what? Fire, he was set ablaze. And as the chants of the religious congregation echoed across the execution ground, the obstinate heretic was devoured by the inferno, and his ashes were thrown in the fire.
Few years later, dear audience, Galileo met the same fate. He was admonished for claiming that the earth revolves around the sun. And the man who positioned him was the same Robert Bellarmine. The same Robert Bellarmine who framed Bruno. My name is Galileo Galilei. It means the one who has an opposite opinion. Opposite to what and to whom? Opposite to the silent loyal at the prime time TV shouting that only that is because a leg of the life. But what do we do with our loved ones? Where do we take them? We worry, we burn, and then we live in the hope. We live in the hope that our civilization will learn. We live in the hope that our civilization will learn. Even though I know many have stopped learning.
Gunshots, tear gases, and wars all over the world all lead to chain of burials. Burials in Kurukshetra, burials in Ukraine. Bodies lying in the war of Yemen trigger a vicious circle of